Right, the world knows the truth. Putin knows, Xi knows, our allies know that Joe Biden, America's commander-in-chief, is in serious mental decline. And everyone saw what that looks like last night. Now, this is not a political debate. It is a factual certainty. No amount of briefings by staff, his press office, his lawyers will convince voters here or leaders in other countries that Biden himself is in charge. Now, someone over at the White House is making the big calls, and it ain't this guy.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. My memory is fine.
You know, 67% think we're on the wrong track. Right back on track. All right, they sent him out last night to try to reassure the country, but it just confirmed what everyone knows.
Initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in. I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate.
Okay, Mexico is not Egypt, and Egypt is not Mexico. But we're all supposed to watch this and blame the special counsel for telling us what the press refused to report on for the last 3+ years? Now, it's not like these verbal wanderings and confused recollections are anything new here. On the Angle, we've been reporting on this for years, like back in 2022, when he tried to do a shout-out to a congresswoman, Jackie Walorski, despite the fact that the Indiana Republican had died in a car accident a month earlier.
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this a reality.
And how did CNN report on this at the time? With the headline, Biden's gaffe plays right into Republicans' hands. So the focus is on the mean Republicans pouncing, not on what the comments said about the president's mental acuity. And don't forget also, by that time, the media had already seen myriad examples of how diminished Biden's mental capacity had become. But CNN didn't care. It was playing defensive tackle for the man who saved the world from Trump. Now, last night, after the report dropped and the comms team had not had the chance to give the press a clear narrative, well, that was one of the few times they actually started to sound like they were real reporters.
Thank you, everybody. We're going to get everybody to hold from.
That was actually refreshing to hear and see. But by the morning, many in the media were back in enabling mode, back on the team, echoing the White House's defense.
He's a partisan. He clerked for Chief Justice Rehnquist. Who led the fight against Rehnquist's confirmation? Senator Joe Biden. Oh, maybe he's biased. Okay, he worked for Donald Trump. Who defeated Donald Trump, which got this guy to lose his job as a prosecutor in Maryland?
But
Joe Biden. This was a terrible choice by Merrick Garland.
First of all, wondered why in the world he would put that in a report, his neurological assessment of Joe Biden, and secondly, why Merrick Garland would release garbage like that in the Justice Department report.
No, they're not only attacking Mr. Hur, they're attacking Merrick Garland. Okay. I mean, come on, man. I mean, if you're so easily manipulated, maybe it's time to go into another line of work. These are classic enabling behaviors. There are a lot, though, of enablers out there. I don't want to single out anyone. There are so many, including the gal whose own on-camera loopiness has also worried Democrat leaders.
What I saw of that report last night, I believe, is, as a former prosecutor, the comments that were made by that prosecutor, gratuitous, inaccurate, and inappropriate.
Inaccurate? Well, as a former prosecutor, Madam Vice President, you should know that you just opened the door to the obvious rejoinder. If the special counsel's quotes of Biden are inaccurate, then release the audio tapes of the interviews. Oh, yeah, release the tapes. Even Jake Tapper raised that point.
One big question for the coming weeks is whether any transcript or audio of the president's interview with the special counsel could be released.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if they think special counsel Hur is unfairly portraying these exchanges, let's hear it. Let's see it.
But all the enablers know how bad those tapes would be. And remember, Hur wrote that Biden's memory was significantly limited, both in the interviews with his office and with a ghostwriter for his book. And no fair-minded person on earth thinks it is a casual, no big deal memory lapse when Biden couldn't remember when his beloved son died or when his term as VP ended. And by the way, they weren't convinced by last night's lash out.
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad I let you speak.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
It's not the judgment of the press. Did you hear what he said? Well, he knows his enablers usually do come to his rescue. And no one has bailed him out of more embarrassing jams than his own wife, who's really the main culprit here.
Is there a part of you that is worried about his age and health? Can he do it?
He can do it, and I see Joe every day. I see him out, traveling around this country. I see his vigor. I see his energy.
Remember, she wants you to call her Dr. Biden, but she's really just a nurse on a power trip. If she's not leading him off a stage.
I don't care, go on and tear me apart.
Well, she's running interference for him with the press.
Mr. President, will you allow the FBI to search your home with veto? Will you meet McCarthy next week?
She's always at the ready, even when hecklers get a little too close.
A heckler tried to interrupt Joe and you in New Hampshire, and you sprang into action.
Wow, he was a big guy. I didn't even know he was standing behind me.
He was coming up behind Joe, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's so aggressive. And I thought, I've got to do something right now. So I stood up and I just went right at him.
That's right.
You got to protect those you love.
Well, that's a nice sentiment, but this is way beyond that. This is enabling. Now, all of this long predated last night, and now, more than ever, Americans and even the foreign press want to know who's really in charge at the White House. The headline in the Daily Telegraph today is Jill Biden secretly running America? With the U.S. president's cognitive abilities under increasing scrutiny, many believe his wife is the one steering the ship. Of course, the New York Times described Jill today in those benevolent terms, Jill as a protective force. Well, protective spouses are amazing. But this is the U.S. presidency, and he has access to nuclear weapons. Congress should do its best as the people's representatives to find out who's actually making the big decisions about matters that will determine our country's future. Because no matter how many spokespersons they send out to trash the special counsel or attest to Biden's vim and vigor, we all know the big guy isn't making the big calls. And we all know what Joe Biden's enablers have done. The man can't remember when he left the vice presidency, for goodness sakes. Oh, sorry. He forgot. And we're not supposed to think that's messed up? By the time Biden leaves office, more Americans will wish that they could forget his entire presidency. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.